Today I decided to take a ride down to the, as it says on the sign there, the historic Glen Rose, Texas, which is, as they say, the dinosaur capital. As you can go out to Dinosaur Valley, and there's a lot of old, where they've dug up a lot of dinosaur bones, and you can see footprints in the volcanic rock and things. And then there's lots of petrified wood out here. I don't know when it was established in 1860. So there's still some of the old buildings, and then typical of a lot of the old small towns in Texas is you have your courthouse in the town square, and you can walk around this square and there's lots of little shops, and there's the old, was the courthouse. And the courthouses are really attractive, beautiful places. Typically have the clock tower at the top, but again, this is the square. I'll walk down the road here in a little bit, and there's a river that goes through part of the town here. So feed mill here. It's like a little restaurant, bar, whatever, live music Friday and Saturday night. It sits right on the river. I'm not sure what the river is that goes through here. One of the few clear water rivers here in Texas. A lot of limestone around here. Very cool, cloudy day today. I don't know what it is, 50 degrees maybe. Might be a little less than that. Anyway, a river that goes through the backside of Glen Rose, Texas. It's always fun walking around these little, it's a very small town. Lots of little shops. Lots of tourist traps, I guess. So it's the giant, Somervell County Museum here in the little town of Glen Rose. Anyway, there's a neat little garden of, I guess, the plants that are indigenous to this area. It's now winter time, so the Hopewell Post Office. Established May 24th, 1901. Discontinued June 30th of 1904. This tiny log crib was located in the Hopewell community of Somerville County. It was on the property that became part of the dam of Squaw Creek Lake that cools the Comanche Peak nuclear power plant. Anyway, the Texas Utilities moved all the buildings on the farm away, and this was one of them. I said earlier, this is an area that's real big for the dinosaur tracks, and this is one they cut out of some of the limestone and brought down here to the museum. So this is a track made millions of years ago by you pronounce that one, Acrocanthocereus, one of several found during excavation work at the Comanche Peak nuclear power plant, 5 miles north of here. Oh, looks like an old printing press. I have no idea what that is. Part of a pump, maybe. Anyway, I think I'm going to walk into the museum here and see if there's anything interesting. Hi there.
Good morning.
Is it okay if I video in here or not?
You may do whatever you want.
Thank you.
And why do you want to video? You got a show?
I just have a very small YouTube channel, and so it's mostly for my family.
Okay.
So I show them when I'm traveling different places, and I just had to come down here today.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I used to work there years ago out in California. But
Well, this building was in a tornado in 1902.
really?
And so it was built, you can see the tower for the clocks.
Okay.
It was before the tornado. The building had been finished in about 1893. And the clock didn't go in until 1986.
Is that right?
1903 picture doesn't have one. And it died at the turn of the century, and they finally took a couple of years, and they replaced it.
So this is the 1903, and that was the 1986?
And that was 1899.
1899, okay, so
This
they're,
is before the tornado.
I gotcha. Wow.
So did you sign in? This is where we were from?
No,
Check-in sheet? We'd like to know where our
I'll
visitors.
definitely do that.
Okay, well, tick mark you. One more.
And what is your name?
My name is Sue. I've
Okay,
got my
Sue.
tag on right there.
Great.
The organization started in 1965, and they moved into this building in 1970. Someone has decided that they didn't like the stuff that was up there, so we have to dust about every 15 minutes. And we have collections from the local area. We do have the clock, as I told you, that one didn't go in until 1986 after the 1902 tornado. But we do have the vacuum sweepers. We have had the Coca-Cola bottling company in this building. I think when it reopened, it was a movie theater. We have the great big one that's here in front. It has been a skating rink. Family has lived here, and just and the bottling company. It's quite interesting. We have information about our town surveyor, and his measuring chain is over there. I had a guy come in one day that told me that's only accurate when it's 68 degrees because the expansion and
Right.
contraction. But he
Interesting.
did obviously use the mathematical adjustments. We have a flag on the wall is the World War II soldiers from Somerville County.
That's the cross with the
Yes.
blue stars, okay.
And they are the ones that crossed the ocean, and their names are listed on the wall over there. There's 5 Pruitts, which I said Dr. Pruitt's the one that delivered babies here in town, along with our founding father and mother. You've seen the bronze on the square?
With the horse and the,
And
yes.
the lady.
Yes.
Charles and his brother had it was called Waco Village. It was a trading post on the Brazos.
Okay.
And they captured her. The Comanches were accustomed to capturing rich people. 2 women, they killed the other woman because she didn't stand up to them like she did. But she delivered babies with the Indian women for a long time.
Is that the lady that's pictured up there?
Yes. The Indians had her with them when they went to Waco Village.
Okay.
And traded her for $300 worth of supplies. And
There's
she and
some
Charles
history.
married, and they built the Bernard Mill, completed about 1860, and had 7 children.
Okay. The mill was actually a wood mill, or
I think it was a grain mill. It was
grain
for
mill.
storage
Okay,
of it.
that
In
makes
fact, we
sense.
got pictures of the original part I just saw recently. It's open. It's got museum over there now, basically art, but it's historical. In fact, portions of the town square and the surrounding area is historical overlay for our city.
Yeah, I like history, and this is.
The
I'm glad I came in.
soldiers that went overseas are the ones those stars are listed, and the list is right there. The Glen Rose pictures came from the grocery store, Brookshires. We got to choose the first 5. We've got one in the next room and one in the dinosaur room showing dinosaur tracks.
Now there's a big piece on the outside over
That
here with the.
came from the Comanche Peak, the
Right.
1960s, 70s era. And then the one on the town square was put in 1930 on the
Okay.
bandstand. Have you seen that one?
I have not.
Right. And we
I'll have to go look
2
at that.
positive reliefs here, plus 3 copies of the large ones that were sent to the museum in New York, along with a National Geographic poster showing how they were removed and what they looked like in New York. We have the only complete still left in Somerville County. A man came to town trying to find out who was selling moonshine, and everybody was selling moonshine. And they knew who he was, and he was murdered about it.
So this would tell us how to set up a little moonshine.
Yeah, Texas Rangers pictures are up there, probably rated good. But Charlie Boss is the man that owned the land out there in the Limestone Valley State Park. Upstairs we have the Gresham family bedroom set from the 1880s. They had a store here, Gresham's Mercantile Store. I saw a picture that said 1880. We have the 2nd largest barbara collection in the state. That saddle you just looked at was used in World War I. The man did the same thing in the military as he did at home. We have hats over here originally from Dr. Pruitt's wife, but a few others have been added.
Oh, that's all these hats up here at the top.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we
Interesting.
have, from the internet, we took the pictures of John St. Helens across the top. And John Wilkes Booth is on the lower right. The gun found at his house is in the right-hand side there, with the new Derringer to the left. His cabin is right over here behind Sugar Biscuits, the Clean Sugar Biscuits, and the county jail.
Is that right?
Anyways, he made great friends with Finis L. Bates, who was a lawyer from Granbury, and he was defending a man that had been arrested for selling moonshine. Thank you. And anyways, he was asked if he would like to assist with the project, and he says no, I didn't want. He just didn't want to do it. Well, he had been arrested for selling moonshine also.
Oh.
They became very good friends. When he contracted pneumonia, he confessed to him that he was actually John Wilkes Booth.
Interesting.
The man, it's all spelled out in the book. The man that burned in the fire in Virginia was the man that actually got him out of the county after the murder. The original plan by Vice President Johnson from Tennessee was to capture Lincoln for negotiation capabilities when the war ended. The war actually ended that weekend. And so he asked him to kill him. Would he kill him? And he said, yes, he would, but not with USS Grant in the booth with him. So he got him on a project, got him all the passcodes to get through all the traffic stops, or not traffic stops, but the gates, and a man to help him on a horse. And he had an uncle in the family that.
Are there history books that are available here that you can?
No, I don't
or is it
have
just
that.
okay?
If you want to get a picture of that book.
This is the one, huh?
Yeah, that is the lawyer from Cranberry, and they spell out everything. But the man didn't die. He went to Oklahoma. He changed his name to David E. George, and he committed suicide. His body was mummified and shown around for about 7 years, and we don't know whatever happened to it.
Yeah. A little dark side of the history, huh?
Right.
There's.
But he has the same facial features. He has the same injuries to his eyebrow that was in a sword fight in one of the plays, and his broken leg when he jumped off the balcony, and so forth and so on. It's all there.
There's a lot here.
Oh, and that barbed wire, we have the second largest barbed wire collection. Let's see.
Now, what's in here?
In here you'll find all the fossils.
Ah, fossils and petrified.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
On here, we have a log outside the door that's of a tree that we're trying to bring in, but can't lift it up. And we have fossilized animal poop. And this is the second. This is the fourth of the pictures from the Brookshire grocery store. They closed part of their sidewalk to build a location to deliver groceries to the call-in orders that we got when the COVID hit.
I had no idea there were so many types of barbed wire.
And so
I've
many
heard that.
and so many different types of arrowheads. Charlie Moss's grandsons are still bringing us small arrowheads that they're finding.
Now, that's what's been surprising to me is how many arrowheads are found in just really all over
Next to any
Texas.
Yeah, where there's water. And I figured this had to be some type of a tooth for this specimen. And this was discovered where we have a new Big Lots in town, or what is it? Dollar store. And it was turned over. The building, the place had been cleared, and our boss turned it over and saw that it had been used as a grinder, and
Right.
brought it into the museum. Then over here we have the coprolite. This was known by the fossil media guy as something very special.
Oh, this right here?
And we have that, right.
Wow.
And it was a mastodon, and these were mammoth teeth, and you can see the back of their ridges over here in their jawbones. We had this identified as a giant ground sloth for 30 years. Fossilmania guy says that's a whalebone.
Huh.
The
And that was found
visual
locally
band
here.
is right here, right, on the Brazos up in Somerville County.
You said Mitchell Bend.
Yeah.
And that's where I spend a lot of time is down on Mitchell Bend Road at a
Okay.
friend's house. So that's
Right.
I'll have to keep my eyes open.
And supposedly, there's a lot of the mammoth stuff over at the Mammoth Place in Waco. New museum or grouping. This is a poured piece right here from the museum. And this is also. And then, of course, the fifth picture over there, Dinosaur Valley State Park. But the
Oh, yeah.
National
Yeah.
Geographic magazine has pretty well pictured out how it was taken. As you cross the little bridge to go see the dinosaur tracks, if you look to your left, that's where the tracks were removed.
So this is taken from the National Geographic magazine, May 1954. You can see right there.
And so the actual state park started in 72. We just had that celebration. And these are the 3 copies that were sent back from New York for us.
Amazing the history of this area. Well, I appreciate you walking me through all this. It's very interesting.
Well, when I have a group of people here, I have to stay up front. But,
It's a slow Saturday, so it gives you some flexibility.
well, we had a group come through earlier.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so we had, let's see, I need to do some tip marks. I need that lady that came in. I did some work. We've had 25 people.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a decent number.
That's a very good number. We average about $1 a person. I've had 15 people come in and no donation type stuff.